So for Afterthought, we're in must-win territory at this point. They did see plot twist just a moment ago, fall down to 2 losses. That leaves, if I have the standings in my head correct, that there's only 1 team remaining with just the 1 loss, and that would, of course, be RBG,
yes,
because they've only played 1 match. So you look at the remainder of the teams. 5-2 looks very realistic for the promotion tournament. No margin for error. As we've mentioned with the Peeps and all the other teams that are in that logjam, what do they have to do to overcome the Embers and get off to a strong start tonight?
Honestly, to overcome the Embers, they just got to come out and play their game. I feel like we already talked about it. We think that they have a definite upper hand in this situation, and I think that's going to hold true. Afterthought, they've got plenty of experience on their side. Shock has obviously been on the big stage at WSOE land, and you got Hato and Tyler, both with RLCS experience. But that's enough talk. Let's fight.
In the world of sports, we call this a trap game sometimes because it's very easy to look forward to a high-impact matchup with the Peeps later on tonight. Afterthought has to take care of business here. Here's the coach, Kai. What a start!
I mean, I can't describe it any other way. You wanted to show that you're worthy of playing in the rival series, then this is the way to do it. Only 3 seconds off the clock, and you're getting a face-off goal 71 miles an hour. And oh boy.
Well then, new guy, that was pretty good. 3 seconds into game 1.
It was okay.
Let's see what Afterthought can do to answer as Tyler wins that challenge. A little slow to get back is Grills, but Hato's not able to take advantage. Shock, his shot is saved away by Sosa. Now Tyler, cleared away by Kai. And it's not like Kai's just some nobody who hasn't been around, but there's Hato, who will tie the game up almost immediately.
Quick response from Afterthought, and it's all on the back of this double demo from Tyler. Sosa with so much pressure on his shoulders right there, and there is no way that, you know, if he misses that one, of course, it's going to be a goal, and unfortunately, wasn't able to make the touch. But to be fair, I don't think he expected to find himself in that situation.
So Grills, first to act off this kickoff, and he'll send it off to the corner, where Sosa tries to track it down. That ball jumps out in front, and it'll be to Tyler. We talked about Gyro leading the league in Savior medals with 6. Ty is right behind him, 5 Savior medals, averaging 2 saves a game. Grills looking for Kai, who's starting to streak downfield, but Shock says no. Now Tyler, at least trying to throw off the attack for the Embers. Looked like Sosa got a piece of Shock, but it wasn't enough to free up the net.
Glorious idea, I will say. Pittsburgh Embers certainly want to get a little bit of that physical play. After watching that Peeps match, they might have been a little bit inspired. And Afterthought's double demo definitely did a little bit of credit in that department. A minute gone and 15, a tie game, and it's impossible to tell who's going to get the upper hand. This always happens with the Embers. They surprise us.
Kai for Grills, and scrambling back was Tyler. Had absolutely no chance to make that save, but he found a way. Now Hato has to look for boost. Couldn't find any, so he just went after the ball and got enough of it to slow down the Embers. But now Tyler with a critical miss in his own defensive end. Sosa coming on, looking for Grills or Kai. Neither was in position, and Kai all the way back to send this ball right back in.
Definitely a good philosophy to look for those passing plays, and a demo as well. No follow-up from Grills, though, a little bit wide, and they're definitely posing a threat. I hate to say this, but I feel like I was wrong with my prediction again. Pittsburgh Embers, they always do this. They show up when you least expect it, and they make themselves a reasonable force.
Well, hopefully for their sake, they don't always do that. Very lucky to have not given up a goal there after the miss in their defensive end. Now Shock trying to wave dash just to get to that ball a little faster, but Sosa's there. Dispossessed by Hato. Now Hato looking to center, using the back of his Octane. Tyler looking for Shock, but not able to connect. And Afterthought are sent back to the center line for Tyler. He'll give way to Hato, and Afterthought take the lead.
Tyler in the air, and all you can think about is, look at me, when the real threat is coming from Hato, who's going to place that one very nicely up high, so Grills can't get a nice piece of that one. And now a nice lead for Afterthought, but definitely they want a little bit more, a 2-1 just past the half, and the Embers still got a breath of life in this one. There's no doubt there's still a pulse there. They're going to need to execute their passes a little bit better in order to score.
If any question marks had existed for this Afterthought team, it really was the play of Hato. rather pedestrian scoreline for the most part. Not a whole lot of goals scored, not a lot of participation either. He's got both goals in a big first game for Afterthought here. Sosa centering one and sent away by Tyler. Now Ty will give way to Hato. Shock makes the save instead. Right in front of the line, and the ball bombed away again by Hato, who's having an exceptional opening game.
And it was a questionable defense, to say the very least, from Afterthought. Tyler opting to not hit the ball did seem to confuse the offense for just long enough to get it away, but still not a position you want to be in. No touch there from Grills either. And overall, this seems to be a very offensively oriented game.
Tyler for Shock. Hato will wait at the back and try to reset the attack for Afterthought. He is met rudely by Kai. Kai with a loft pass over to Grills. Had that been a little more direct, could have seen a high power shot on goal. Said they may still get one. Kai bringing another one around, but that's a big booming clear from Ty. Hato chasing downfield, but now they got to scramble back to the net. Sosa needs 2 touches, and he put them both wide. Follow up from Grills. Here's Kai looking for his second. He's nowhere near the mark. And the Embers, they're hitting everything except the net as they're denied in the final minute.
Man, the woodwork is they're really getting their money's worth for the woodwork in this one. And I have to say, Embers, I noted just earlier that they need a little bit better execution on their passing plays, and I think that stands strong with that play right about there. That was basically inexcusable. Another shot off the crossbar, and they can't get it underneath of it.
Good thing we only use these maps for one match every series, because we're gonna have to take some dents out of the back wall on the blue half of the field. Embers have hit everything, again, except the net. This is on target, and Kai doubles his shot total.
And his goal total as well. Kai definitely coming out strong for his first game in the rival series. A great angle coming off of that top corner. Made it so hard for Hato to make that read. And that touch just secured the goal in the back of his own net. 10 seconds now on the clock. And the Embers, well, they're definitely not going out yet.
Almost reminiscent of Bilbo making his rival series debut for the Rightovers on the European side. Scoring clutch goals to try and get the Rightovers off to a great start. Kai has added 2 here in game 1, a first game that will go to overtime.
I thought that doink from Shock was on target, and boy, would I have been impressed with that transitional play if it was.
Could be a kickoff goal to start things off. And it's just high and wide yet again. Afterthought very lucky to have not dropped game 1 in OT. Now Shock coming on, just off to the corner again. And Tyler has his shot stuffed by Kai. Well, what a debut for Kai 99. Talk about being thrust into an awkward situation. You're the coach and the manager. You're told a day before you've got to play now the rest of your team's season, and he has shown absolutely no hesitation at all. Able to get this ball out of the way. Tyler keeps this in the zone, at least for the moment, but Sosa finishes the clear. Here's Kai again, looking for the hat trick. Has to settle for maybe an assist, and he'll get neither.
And Kai's doing such a good job. We already talked about his 2 goals, but I have to highlight that he's been on a lot of competitive teams in the past, and he just hasn't made it to this stage. But now that he's finally on it, he's proving that he is worth it to be on the team. He's definitely doing exactly what a sub needs to be, just there in case you need him. And he, well, you know, could he be the next super sub is the question for me.
Yeah, Grills going underneath there, trying to get some style points in the overtime winner against Afterthought.
Which, again, don't count.
Correct.
Wait a second.
But this is an empty net, and Sosa has that one fall under the bar. Finally, the Embers have one of those shots that stays on target, and Embers take game 1.
Style points don't count, and this is really the epitome of that description, as Sosa just had, it wasn't a flashy touch, he didn't do really anything special, but he beat Shock to the ball, which is the important part because Hato was the last man back, and he was expecting a 50-50 out of that one. So when you get to that ball quick, put it over the last man, it's an on target, and suddenly, you got yourselves a free goal, and even worse, in overtime, or at least in the case of Afterthought, for the Embers, they kind of stole away this win with a big comeback in the closing seconds.
Afterthought's a team that will let you get a lot of shots on, too. They come into this week with a negative 33 shot differential. I mean, they are facing shot after shot and giving up quite a few goals as well. They give up, what was the total? 11 shots in that game from the Embers. and 2 real bangers from Kai to keep the Embers in that game.
And I did actually note that Afterthought, they're a team that play incredibly strong, but mostly against teams that are kind of submissive. So when it comes to the Embers now, we're seeing a team that is definitely the opposite of that. They're pushing out as much as they can, as often as they can. And now for Afterthought, they got to think to themselves, we might not be giving this team enough respect. We came into this match thinking we were going to have an easy time of it, and that is clearly not the case.
Yeah, a lot of things working in Afterthought's favor, but everything on the field seemed to work out for the Embers. Again, you get the kickoff goal that starts everything off, and Kai with a blistering shot under the crossbar, and then it's a long floater that finds its way under the crossbar, and the Embers, that's how they score all 3 of their goals.
Yeah, everything in favor of Afterthought except for the goal count, which is the only part that necessarily matters.
Well, let's see what we get for a rematch here in Game 2. Could be a kickoff goal for Hato, but he didn't have the boost to track that ball down. Timeout Tyler for Shock. That one's wide. Sosa bumped from behind by Ty, and Grills was just hovering in the air, flailing around a bit, just trying to guess where the shot was going to come. It wasn't anywhere on target. Timeout Tyler against Sosa, and it's Sosa up to the task defensively. Here comes Kai. Maybe the last person that Afterthought wants to see with the ball. Timeout Tyler didn't really get all of this ball, so it's coming back, courtesy of Sosa. Better clear this time from Shock. Ty thought about chasing, but instead might need a little extra boost as this ball drops in front. Ty will get the midfield boost and take this himself, just trying to get away from Grills.
But Grills did get the back boost, and then taking Tyler out of the play essentially is a 200 boost turn. When you're talking about the resource game, that's very crucial. And Kai with a quality shot there. Not quite on target. Sosa gets blocked out as well, and they're still on the attack. Another save from Shock, and this is a huge turn of events. Afterthought realized that after game number 1, they had to play more offense. They had to be more aggressive, and it started like that in the first 30 seconds, but now the Embers are back on the attack.
A scoreless tie very early on in Game 2. Tie, a little hesitation, and Sosa takes advantage. Sosa has had a pretty solid game defensively, and it's Grills who stops a blast, to put it lightly, from Timeout Tyler. Now Sosa redirect his bar down and away.
The away part is very important on that one. There were players ready to make the follow-up right there. But Timeout Tyler making that shot right there exactly to where Grills was. And that's the important part for Grills. You're playing the likely line. You are trying to find the most likely spot the ball will travel to the net, and he was put it in the very right spot in that instance.
Hato, tough challenge there, but he's able to stop Grills' shot. Timeout Tyler off the corner at a good angle, but it's stopped by Grills. Does not get this second touch, though, coming off the ceiling. And now here comes Timeout Tyler and Afterthought. The defense crisscrosses for the Embers. Shock for Hato, met by Sosa with another big-time stop. They're going to need another stop, and they have it from who else but Sosa.
This is so confusing because watching this, it seems like there's a lot of spots where Afterthought are looking to make a play, and it looks like they are going to make a play, but then it just doesn't happen because the Embers defense is too strong or they just don't finish it. And in this instance, they're not finishing it. Hato just hived the net, and they're going to want that one back. Embers are still on defense, though. Timeout Tyler can't get that one underneath the bar either, and we're going to have to repair the dents on this map now, Stacks.
Yeah, this is incredible. So many shots going off the crossbar, going off the post. Kai dropping one down that's sent away by Shock, and frustration's got to set in at some point for Afterthought. The one shot that was really on target with a ton of pace was right where a defender just happened to be. Right now, Afterthought's got to be feeling like they couldn't hit water if they were swimming. Here's Sosa. That ball going across, and Timeout Tyler not able to beat Kai. This will go back across for Shock. Afterthought have had plenty of possession here in this scoreless tie. Now Shock, challenged by Sosa very effectively. Now it's Kai. Grills making another big stop on the defensive end. Can he turn it into offense? No, he can't. Loose ball for Kai as it's going to pinball around and go all the way across. Who will have it this time? It's Shock. Coming up on 1 minute to go in Game 2. If you missed Game 1, it was bizarre. The Embers with 3 rather interesting goals, including an overtime winner on an empty net. Sosa all the way downfield, right at Hato. Hato trying to fake out Grills, that didn't work out. Kai coming up empty, and now here's Hato. Chance for Afterthought to break out with 40 seconds left, and Sosa just playing the defensive Afterthought like a fiddle, only to the midfield line.
And it feels like the midfield line is where the ball's been staying for a while. Here in the last minute, great pass right there from Sosa to Kai, 99. And you know he's gonna put that one on target every single time. That's 3 goals for him out of the 4 this series.
And I believe, well, I thought it was actually only his second or third shot. His 4th shot finally finds the mark. But Kai has been deadly accurate with just about every shot he has taken. It hasn't been an easy save for the defensive Afterthought, that time not able to save it. His 3rd goal of the series, and all 3 have been huge. This one gives the Embers the lead with only 13 seconds left now to close out game 2 and a chance at maybe sweeping Afterthought. Shock down the side, loose ball for Hato, could take his time, and he just could not find Tyler. Ty just whiffed on the shot, and that'll do it for game 2.
And now 2 things off of that shot. Tyler missing it, huge heartbreak for him and Afterthought. Going down 2-0, huge heartbreak for him and Afterthought. But now for the Embers, you got Kai leading the way. Super sub Kai coming on through, just about as good as what we saw in Raw Greg coming out for the old Seoul eSports. My goodness. That's really the only way I can explain this game.
Yeah, for Afterthought, I mean, Tyler is a player that when he misses like that, it wears on him quite a bit. He is a very emotional player when things are going well. Afterthought is going to soar to new heights. The problem is he's not doing so hot here, and especially after that miss, I'm sure he's going to need the entire minute here between games just to kind of compose himself. And they need him to compose himself because he's a huge part of what Afterthought's trying to do on both ends of the field.
Yeah, the mental game is a huge part of Rocket League, and when you're not playing it well, then your team isn't going to be getting the best results in the world, and Tyler is definitely no exception to that one. On the other side, the Embers got to be feeling incredibly positive about this one. We all favored Afterthought here on the desk, and suddenly you're kind of trying to rapidly scribble out your mistake, one of those situations, and write down, oh yeah, I had Embers from the start. But
yeah, right?
Seriously though, they're coming out strong. They subvert our expectations every time they appear on the stage.
And the thing about the Embers is all these shots that they're taking, I mean, they are blistering shots as well. Afterthought has had plenty of opportunities, but not as many that have been as high a quality as what we've seen from the Embers, and they're converting those chances. Are the Pittsburgh Embers. 2 down, 1 to go. It's a long road back for Afterthought. It'll have to start here in game 3, and it's going to be Kai slamming this one home, and it is just absurd what is happening right now.
Hato diving on that ball right there, and suddenly he's beaten, and there's nobody home. I don't think Kai even had to make a touch on that one, but wanted to make sure that Shock wouldn't be able to get in front of it. That makes, I believe, 4 out of their 5 goals now belong to Kai.
Yeah, again, up until just a day ago, Kai believed he was just the coach and manager, and a sub that would not be needed. He has been called on, and he has answered the call, and then some. He's been the MVP of this match. There's Tyler. We needed a quick recovery from him, and he's got it for Afterthought.
And this begs the question, is he going to be able to maintain this kind of momentum? Hato going for a bump there, so it was a 3-man play. I don't really think he made contact, but the point stands. Got Grills out of the play, was able to do something with it, and now for Afterthought, all right, let's take a moment, let's slow down here, and let's reset. We can do this.
Off the kickoff, saved by Tyler. That's the Ty of old. Score on one end, make a big save on the other. And for Ty especially, seeing that shot go off the crossbar but still find its way into the net, that also has to be huge given how many opportunities they had in game 2. Awkward spot there on the offensive end for Afterthought. Almost turned into chaos and a massive collapse on defense, but now they've turned it into transition, and Ty pushes this wide.
I like him going for that angle, though. Shows a little bit of confidence in his own striking potential. But with that RLCS experience also comes somewhat high standards for those players, so I don't want to see him getting too far down on himself for this one.
Shock going up with limited boost, but he had enough to make the play. Now it's Kai. Ceiling, down, Sosa can't jam it home. Now Grills looking to center, and it's Ty playing right over him. Kai 99 against Hato. Good ball out to the corner, now a good ball downfield from Shock. Not able to find Hato though. Now watch out for Sosa, he's got Ty beat, but the shot doesn't come on. Instead, opting for the pass off the backboard, and a longer game for the Embers.
The Embers, again, they're leading the shot count 5-1 at present. They're looking so much more confident on the offense than Afterthought is. I noted earlier in this series that Afterthought do particularly well against submissive opponents, and that is the last thing I would use to describe the Embers, but Hato has a free goal off this 50-50.
Hato with his third goal of this series, by far the best series that he's had, and he has needed to step up for Afterthought. Just a challenge that finds its way into the net. And Afterthought are right back on the board.
And although Pittsburgh Embers lead in the shot department, it's the goals that matter, and that 50-50 will give a lot of confidence to Afterthought.
Shock out of the corner. Over one, but not past two. Sosa and Grills combine to stop the Afterthought counterattack. Hato will wait for this off the side. Instead, it's Ty, not Tyler. Grills trying to go around Shock. Off the ceiling, straight down for Ty. And Sosa beaten out by Ty, not Tyler. Boy, he is everywhere on the field right now for Afterthought. Officially had an assist on that last goal as well. Hato on the opposite side, waiting for this ball. Shock lurking in front, but it'll be a big clear away from Kai.
It feels like Afterthought is starting to get a lot more confident in what they're doing on the field, especially getting that second goal from Hato. They feel like they're more comfortable in doing whatever it is they want, and that one's just going to crawl into the net against the Embers, and Afterthought will gladly take it.
Yeah, Ty, not Tyler will just watch this go and go, yeah,
it was all part of the plan.
I scored.
Crossbar down.
What about it? I scored. What are you guys looking at?
He hit it from his own corner, off the ceiling, it's still crossbar down. That's just how good Ty is.
Not the kind of goal you expect to see in the rival series. It's a rather lackluster defensive effort from the Embers there, and they've given one away. It's a big insurance goal for Afterthought that they may get back. They do. It's Grills bringing the heat.
And Kai99 has the assist on this one with a demo on Hato as well. Taking out the backboard defense is the easiest way to get past him, I suppose. Grills right there for the shot as well. Plenty of faith in his teammate. And I guess, you know, Grills being there so fast, it can only stand to reason that Kai was communicating with his teammate in that scenario, and that means that Kai had a lot of confidence in what he was doing on that back wall.
Hey, when coach speaks, you listen. They are trained well, are the Pittsburgh Embers. 3-2 the deficit. They're going to be wishing they could get that goal back that they just gave up to Ty, though. Here's Shock. You'll have all day to work with. That could be a recipe for disaster if you're the Embers. Here comes Hato off the setup, and it's sent away by Kai. Grills stuffed by Shock. But that means he's all the way downfield to try and redirect this to the front. He missed entirely. Seen a lot of that in this match. Both teams trying to get just that fine touch to center the ball or redirect on target. They're trying to get a little too cute, perhaps. Kai now challenging on Shock. Loose in front. Tie game. It's Sosa.
There is nobody back for Afterthought here. And I'm going to highlight this as much as I can because there is no backliner. Hato is out of the play, grabbing boost. Ty Tyler is downfield expecting a win from Shock. So when that one drops down in front of the net, that is just complete open field for the player to work with. I mean, you can't leave that.
3-3 the scoreline in game 3 with the Embers looking like they were about to drop a game and let Afterthought back into this series, and they have brought this all the way back. They have excelled late in every game. The tying goal from Kai with 10 seconds left in game 1, a goal in the final minute in game 2 that made the difference in a 1-0 scoreline, and they score again at the tail end of game 3. Maybe they're not done. Maybe Afterthought isn't either, as Ty sends that off the backboard.
And for Afterthought, this is dangerous territory. Huge beat from Sosa, the double tap. He's gonna get that one. The Embers have the lead, and now Afterthought are shaking in their boots if they weren't already.
After giving up a laugher of a goal, 3 unanswered by the Embers, who are looking to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. 21 seconds remain off the solo effort from Sosa. Here's Ty Tyler. He's been the everyman for Afterthought. He needs to do it again. He does not. The turnover goes into an empty net. The Embers about to knock off AFT.
The Rocket League equivalent of a pick six right here with Grills interrupting that passing lane, and that might just end the game with 13 seconds left. And oh my God, Embers, what have you done? This is not what we expected in the very least. I said that they subverted expectations, but I think they subverted expectations by pushing Birds and Bees to Game 5. Not what this is. This is an absolute cataclysm for Afterthought. Heavy favorites moving into this game, and now they're looking to take their third loss of the season.
Unreal stuff from the Pittsburgh Embers and their coach, Kai99, a playmaker,